I only use you to get a C.
You use me to get attention? Yeah.
No, yeah, sure that.
Yeah. I got it. Subscribe to Trainer Green. Yeah, I got it. I know, you're a shill.
Yeah, you know me. Every time I get a chance to promote my content, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'll go through one of these questions because I have a lot I'm actually interested in. What got you guys into speedrunning?
Do you want to go first, Alice?
Yeah, sure. A little less time to prepare my answer, but what actually got me into it was GDQ. I got into GDQ off of the Kaizo community, if y'all are familiar with the Kaizo community at all.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I kind of played Kaizo offline. I got really interested in it. That led me to watching GDQ runs online and everything. And I was like, how much fun would it be if I could eventually get a run into GDQ? And I eventually hit BioShock because that was a game that I was really into in my quote unquote childhood. It's an M game, so I don't want to say I was too young, but early high school, late middle school ish era, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't play M games. M games when we're children, of course.
No, of course not. Flashbacks to Halo when I could barely remember holding a controller. Anyways,
sounds about right.
Yeah. My friends and I always really enjoyed BioShock, and it was just kind of one of those things of I love this game. I looked into the run for it, it was really cool, and I was like, fuck it, this is what I'm doing. And then I ran BioShock for a good few months, and then I kind of went on to... So the first game that I decided was what was my favorite childhood games, and I've been doing the same thing ever since. All of my main speedrun games are games that I remember very fondly or nostalgically as I've played as a child.
Or We
Fit.
Or
yeah, We Fit was another big one. Tie is another big one. Putt, that's how I get all of my main games, is what did I enjoy as a child. And my original ultimate goal was to get something into GDQ, but now I'm just enjoying paying tribute to my favorite games.
I will say you were the most diverse runner I've ever seen.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Just run everything.
Hey,
and you are by legality the world's fittest person.
Hell yeah!
So Al, what got you into speedrunning?
I'm kind of the same, but in a different way, I guess. I didn't want to get anything into GDQ, but it was GDQ that got me. There was I think the first speedrun that I saw on GDQ was a Borderlands speedrun, I think. And I really liked the game, but I didn't have any of the knowledge that you need to run Borderlands. So instead I looked for a game that I wanted to run. And at the time I was super into Hotline Miami, so I just started playing that a bunch. And I was really bad at it, honestly. There were a bunch of... I didn't know about speedrun.com or anything. I just was oh, you just beat a game fast. So I was doing every level, no tricks. Just, it was horrible.
Just fast, yeah, I've done the same experience.
But yeah, just do a game fast.
But eventually, did you start running? You've been running for a while, I assume.
I've been running for over a decade now.
Gosh.
But it's all manner of things. So I just I started with that. It was pretty cool. Then I started thinking, what else would I want to run? And so I went back to old games that I figured if I'm gonna run a game, it's gonna be a game that I like, which actually I tell people not to do now. It's one of the worst things that you can do.
Yeah.
Because you'll get, if you love a game, don't speedrun it. You'll get so tired of it so fast.
Yeah.
But so that's how I found Sly Cooper. And then once I finally actually started looking into speedrunning Sly Cooper, I found the community, started playing a bunch of other games, started meeting people, and now I just run anything and everything.
Now you're just washed up Sly Cooper runner with a 43.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. I retired early. Yeah. Okay.
Retire while you're good. Retire while the iron's hot.
Exactly.
I mean,
retire while you're good, and then don't let anyone tell you that you've become
pretty sure that 43 has a World 4 skip before the setups for phones.
Yeah, it was that was actually, I got that run, I think either the night that it like was found
Yeah, it's
or
pretty
the
close.
day after, and I was in the run. It was the first one that I had made to World 4, and I just winged it, and it worked. And I was like, "Well, we're turning this in," and
It's
then I
sad
just
'cause
didn't look back.
The World 4 skip was World 4 in general was so good, but if you look at your World 1 and 2, I'm like, how did this 43? This is such a reasonable time for such a bad
It
run.
was horrible. It was horrible.
It's such a reasonable time for such a bad run.
Look, it was a horrible run that was PS2 world record. So I'm taking that.
Was is a good quote. Was is a good quote. How long have you been running, Alice?
I have been running not quite 2 years. For Sly in particular, I just passed my 1-year anniversary, which is super hype. Yeah, I'm excited to get back on the grind, but like, I'm really proud of how far I've come in a year.
Okay, Cody. How did I actually don't know why you started speedrunning.
I
forgot you're not good with words.
I do. The reason why I all I remember is when I was a kid, I enjoyed playing SM64DS a lot, and then I played it on my channel, the original one. And I was like, "This is fun. I'll do it every year." And then I just started playing it, getting faster and faster, and thought, "Hey, it might be fun to speedrun it." And that was basically it.
That was a few years ago.
And then, if you want to talk about my other one, it was mainly because of Mario Kart Wii is fun.
Oh yeah, I forgot you ran Mario Kart Wii for like 2 months.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was.
And then you realize how grueling that is. God, I couldn't imagine running that game.
It's fun.
Yeah, you missed out on all the ultra shortcuts.
You can't do them without shrooms.
Without context, don't just say shrooms, please.
You heard it here first. You need shrooms. Go on.
Shrooms make you top speedrunner.
Shrooms make you so fast.
This just in, literally every map in Mario Kart Wii just got a new world record from this guy on shrooms.
Yeah, it's required. Most of the top 10 shrooms the entire time.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. I gotta start on the drug use to get that 36. Only way I'm beating Alice is with hardcore drugs. Let's go.
Woo!
I can't
I
say
mean, wait, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, but hype.
But
So I remember when I started speedrunning, I ran Odyssey first because I was unemployed, so I had a lot of time, and I'm like, I've never been on Twitch, so I started watching Small Ant 1 back in the day when he had the 1.
Oh man.
Jeez.
And then I was
Small
like,
Small Ant's been a huge inspiration for me as well. Cite pencil sharpening speedruns. I definitely didn't steal that from him, but he stole my putt run.
He did steal putt.
Exactly. Throwing that out there.
It is there. Yeah. So I started in I think that was 2019. So I've only been running I ran Odyssey for 6-8 months. And the only reason I ran Sly Cooper, I didn't run it for a long time because I didn't know how to super jump, which is stupid because it's the easiest thing in the game. But then I saw that I was 20. Yeah, it was 2020. It was January. So it's been a year now since I started running. So, but I saw the GDQ run from 2018 on Zenthros, and I saw his all keys, and I'm like, I want to try this game again, but without the cutscenes. God, when I played it with the cutscenes, that was awful. Oh man, I remember I was finding tricks all the time because I didn't know the community existed, and I was at Gunboat where you can just cane jump. I just jumped on the pillar and then jumped over, and I'm like, wow, this is really difficult, but I found something, and then I found that cane jump existed. I'm like, I'm an idiot.
I think that's a lot of
yeah.
There have been so many things in multiple games that I've run where I'm like, oh, I found this cool thing, just messing around, oh man, no one knows about this, and then I'll tell someone, and they're like, yeah, I mean, we just do this, and it's some super easy to do trick that saves way more time. I mean, that
if it weren't for Doom, I wouldn't be running this game. He was like, did you try pressing the square button when you super jump? And I'm like, you're a genius. 8 hours of trying to super jump with just the X button got me nowhere. God,
you can do it though. I think
you can
that's the wildest
It's actually
part.
not terrible now. Now that I know how to just do the game regularly, it's I could do this.
It's that's the thing. If you don't know that you have to hit square, you could just do it with X. It's just so much more difficult.
It's like this like threshold with running, because like when you don't know how to do any of the speed run, your threshold is so low. Now it's like I could do these things, so this thing is now easy. It just gets gradually like a different radar onto it. Hi Hoagie. Without huffing paint, I could never speedrun. That's truer words, Hoagie. That's the drugs we do around here. We just huff paint. We actually just got our tire shop repainted. That's why I've been like really on the grind lately.
It's look, it's the pro strat.
It's the pro huffing paint is definitely how that works.